Hi, welcome to Sprouts Greenhouse Kitchen. It's a cold and snowy night in central Alberta, and it's a long winter, so I'm going to show you how to get some spring color in the middle of winter. So what we're starting with here is just a little terracotta pot. I put some potting soil in here, and what we're going to do, I've got some double hyacinth bulbs right here. The beautiful purple color, and we are going to show you a couple of different ways you can plant them. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 3 of them into this little pot and just squash them down into it. And I've already pre-dampened the soil, so you can see we've just stuck them in there. We're going to put these in a place that's just kind of cool, about 60 degrees or about 15 to 16 degrees Celsius. And wait for them to start to sprout, and as soon as they do, we want to move them out into the light so they can get some light so they don't get too spindly. And hopefully in the new year we're going to have some blooms. Now there's a couple other ways that you can plant these. You can do some great gifts. You could just have a single little tiny pot like this, do the same thing with some dirt or some rocks, and just pop that right in there, and when it sprouts you have a beautiful little spring gift for somebody. And you can also do it really simply. Just do the vase with some water, and you can see I filled the vase up to about there. It's got a narrow neck. So I'm going to take one of these bulbs, the same bulb, purple hyacinth, and it just barely touches the bottom of the bulb, if you can see it there. I'm just going to shake it a little bit so that it gets the bottom of the bulb wet, so that it'll activate the root growth. But the bulb isn't sitting right in the water because we don't want it to rot, and that can easily happen if there's too much water in there. So same thing, a little bit cooler temperature, and that will start to sprout. Now there's lots of different options. I've got the same bulbs here, and what I've got in here is just some river rock, as you can see, and a square vase. And this will make a really nice presentation too. So because this is square, I've actually decided to stick 4 bulbs in here. And what we're going to do is let them sit on top. The roots will grow down inside in through the rocks. I'm just going to add a little bit of water. And again, not too much. We just want the bottom of the bulbs to just get a little bit wet. And when you're putting them in, you can see that where the roots were, and that's where they're going to come out of, and the pointy end is the part where you want to put up. That's where the leaves are going to spread out of in the blossoms. So there's another option for you. Now I've got some other bulbs to try as well. These are paper whites. These are in the Narcissus family, same family as daffodils, and they are really easy bulbs to force because they don't require pre-chilling the way some of the other bulbs do. And you can buy these in the fall, just keep them in your fridge until you're ready to plant them when you get the winter drearies. So same thing we're going to do here. These can handle a little bit more water than the hyacinth can. So I'm just adding water so it'll come up to the top of the rock. I don't know if you can see that. It's just about there. There we go. And what I've got in here, this is just aquarium rock. I actually stole it out of an old aquarium that we're not using. So I'm just going to squish 3 bulbs in here. Again, the same thing. The rooted end goes down. And another nice thing about this particular one is with the rock in there, it's quite heavy, and these can get quite top heavy when they start blooming. So it's nice to have something a little bit heavier to hold them down so they don't topple over. And the last planting we're going to do is a nice flat, just a terracotta pot, and I am just going to go ahead and add some more of that aquarium rock to this pot and do exactly the same thing. But with this one, we're really going to plant it intensely and make it nice and full. We're going to add a lot of rock so it has room to grow its roots down in and anchor itself in. And we are just going to fill this up. Again, just kind of squishing them in there, making sure you get the right side up. And just really pack them in there right up against each other. Some bulbs you don't want them touching, but with these it actually helps to hold them up if you've got them right side by side and really fills things in there. So we're just going to continue just filling that in until we have it nice and full, and then we're going to add the water just like we did in the other one. And then you'll have to stay tuned to see the finished product once they start to grow. So we're just going to go ahead and add the water. Same thing, just so that the water comes up to the top of the rock, just so that you can see it coming through. That way the roots portion of the bulb will be wet, and just check on it every once in a while just to make sure that it hasn't dried out if you need to top it up the water. And there you go, we'll have some spring color in no time. Thanks for tuning in at Sprouts Kitchen.